Okay, so we are approaching the moon at this point. It's right there. Looks like what's going to happen is we're going to slow, the moon is going to start pulling us towards it. I'm just going to slow our speed here. Yep. So, according to that other trajectory, we're actually going to be moving here and then start being pulled back. But that's pretty close. Is that going to... Okay, well, the trajectory's changed ever so slightly, and we are going to be actually be coming closer to the moon than previously expected. I think we can work with that, though. So what we need to do now is about here-ish add a maneuver to retro burn to slow ourselves down to about don't want this going too low. Lower than that. Lower than that. 21 and 18. Okay, I'm happy with this. I don't know how accurate it will be. But I don't want to burn too soon, or I'll drop my orbit into the moon. So we want to wait until at least here, if not later. So I'm going to time this one by complete estimation. I'm going to say maybe start burning 40 seconds before. Again, total guess. Let's leave the map real quick and rotate ourselves around to face whatever or wherever the blue mark is. So SAS off. Am I still speeding up? Yeah. SAS off. Start to rotate RCS on so we don't take forever. We have plenty of fuel for it. There's reverse. But we want our blue target. Slow down. Right about... Oops. Get my stuff backwards here. Right there. Okay. So we are facing the right way now. Turn the RCS off. We're facing away from the sun. No, no, we're still getting power. So let's speed up a little bit till this gets down. This time down here gets closer. Because we're not going to wait an hour to come into the moon. A little faster than that. Even faster. That always makes me nervous going that fast, though. Because I always feel like I'm going to go speeding past the planet. It is a big jump in time. We are losing power pretty quick, but I think we'll be okay. 13 minutes still. Just keep seeing these little pixel things. We are coming in very close to the planet. It's pretty scary when you're coming in at a dark angle of the planet. Let's hope we don't run into this at any point in time. Speed up a little more. That's slowing down. Let's back up to the map. Our power is still going down. That's okay, I think. Okay, is it? It's going back up. Okay, so waiting till about my guesstimation of 40 seconds. No clue if that's going to be right. It feels like we're getting very close to the moon surface. Okay, let's... Okay. Do a quick amount of adjustments here. About there. RCS on to make sure we're stable. And I'm going to start my burn early because I don't trust me. RCS off, check the map. It's okay, it's saying the burn time isn't going to be that long. It predicts the whole thing is just going to be about 40 seconds in total at this speed. I got those pretty even. So, finger on the X button to cut off. If we pass our mark, that just means that this is going to be farther. I don't know. I'm not going to try to guess right now. Says another 15 seconds. 12, 11. Don't want it to go too close. 5, 4, 3, 2. Okay. 16. Okay, I'm happy with that. It's not a great orbit, but I'm happy with it. Okay, so at this point, check our fuel. We have plenty. Yay. Okay, I'm very happy about that. That's been my problem the past few times. It is auto-saving, which is convenient because I was about to quick save, which I'm doing now. I'm not. It's up here next to resources. Not trying to pull the wool over your eyes. But, okay. We're in orbit. And we're actually already on the bright side of the moon, so I could try to attempt to land here in just a moment, actually. I'm not going to go through a whole lot of effort as far as pinpointing my landing like I've tried to do in the past. As much as I would like to land somewhere interesting to you, it's more important for me at this point in time to just land. So that is the goal at this point, is to just land. So, I mean, obviously my only real goal is to land on the lit side of the surface. Although, with what I've learned, I could probably try to pinpoint a landing a little bit easier. Right now at this point I'm just thinking this looks pretty rough. So I'm going to wait till we're... I don't know, somewhere over here. Let's get rid of this. I don't need this now. Somewhere... Okay, I'm a liar. I'm going to try to pinpoint. Not like pinpoint, but I'm going to try to hit in this crater. That's like a pretty wide goal. So I'm going to try to add this maneuver, and what I'm going to try and do is basically drop my speed entirely using nothing but my main jet and fall for essentially all of this. And that's where I'm going to try to land, is right there. So... saying estimated burn for 1 minute and 8 seconds. I don't know how accurate that's going to be, but I'm going to trust it. So yeah, the goal is to stop all speed, eject this once we're done with that, and use what fuel we have in here to slow ourselves down. That way this handles all of our horizontal speed, and this handles all of our vertical speed. That's the best way I've tried so far. So let's get facing the right way. Even though we still have some time before we need to do this, I want to be already semi in the right position. So we want to be, apparently, this doesn't seem, I guess because we're going to rotate around the planet, I'm getting my directions confused. We want, no, this way, this way, this way. It's very easy to get confused as far as which way you need to be using your thrusters, which has been a lot of my cause of issue in the past as far as landing. About... there we go. That's about right. and let that straighten up. RCS thrusters off, and we will, actually I'm going to keep my RCS thrusters on because we have so much fuel and I don't want to fall off course now. We'll speed up time a little bit. It says 1 minute and 8 seconds, so about 34 seconds or so before we need to start burning, I hope. We don't have a whole lot of altitude to screw up, so that's one of my concerns at this point. We have quick saved, so worst case scenario I can go back. As cheaty as that feels, I am going to land on the moon. End of story. That's it. I've had way too many issues at this point to not do it now. And I'm going to, do I want to move these or do I want to hold that there? Yeah, I'm going to move these into this stage. I think that's what I want. Okay, so I can't read, that's 4 minutes. Speed up time a little more. 3. It's hard to read the times on the white surface. Let that get down to about here, and we'll wait in real time from here. This gives me a little bit of time to adjust my positioning. And it says 1 minute 8 seconds, so I'm waiting for 1 minute, or 34 seconds I believe I said. Here's our crater, our target. We're going to be landing somewhere about here-ish. This is our orbit speed. At some point it will change to our surface speed, I believe, which we want to get to below 20, ideally. Giving the thumbs up in hopes that actually happens. 56 seconds. And preparing to start the burn. Nerves are kicking in. RCS is still pushing us to make sure we're staying in the right spot. I'm afraid this is going to hop up and become a bigger number whenever I start, but it's not too big a deal. We have a lot of area to screw up. And burning. Oh, no, that was pretty close. And I got my finger on the X to shut this off as soon as needed. Actually, it's still saying, okay, we got another 31 seconds. Whew, getting worried. This is about all the time, this is about the time when you need to be nervous. It's not perfectly accurate, but that's okay. 7, 6, I'm doing it by eye now, I'm not going to trust that thing at this point. It's just a guide, and right there, cut this off, and there you go. So change to this. We need to get rid of this thing now, so we're throttled down, and let's get rid of this. So RCS is on, SAS, turn that off. We want to face straight up. Okay, put our landing gear down. Now thanks to these, we will be able to take quite a bit of an impact, but let's avoid that. That'll crash down somewhere away from us, which is good. We're moving pretty much straight down. We have a little bit of an angle, but that's okay, I think, I hope. Let's turn our lights on for safety's sake. We are in the sunlight, as planned. So far things are going according to schedule. I feel like I'm not completely level, but I think it's going to be okay. Kick our engines on ever so slightly to keep us from gaining too much more speed. I gotta watch the fuel very carefully to make sure I don't use too much. I may consider turning two of these engines off. No, we're dropping altitude pretty quick, so I think it's going to be okay. I'm going to wait for us to drop a little more, and then I'm going to kick the engines up a little more to start slowing us down. I'm nervous about the fuel, because that's been a problem in the past. There that goes. It's going to crash here in a minute. 2 kilometers down. Still have some ways to fall according to that. Almost 3 kilometers. I don't have enough fuel to just keep a constant burn. But we need to start slowing down about now. Keeping that finger on the X key so I can cut off the engine before we hit the ground. I keep it around this area. Can't cut it down to completely zero, otherwise we'll just float there, and that's not what we want. Surface is pretty close at this point. Cutting the engine up a little higher. You can see our shadow over there, which gives us a good indicator as to how close to the ground we are. Coming in at a bit of an angle, or it looks like we're slightly moving off to the side. That's okay. Don't want to give it too much thrust there. Ooh, 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 ooh. We are sliding, but and there you go. Safe landing. When you finally hit the ground, that just relieves so much tension off of me. Hitting the ground finally is just, I don't know. I feel a lot better. Gonna put these panels out. And there we go. We have our first lander on the planet. We can finally turn on some of these science machines and see what the heck this is all about. I have never even used these before. You see, this is the double C accelerometer. I guess this is determining gravity, maybe? 0.16 the G's, I guess, of what's on... I'm assuming they would have set it up so it's determining the gravity based on our home planet. Temperature minus 12 Celsius, maybe? I assume that isn't Celsius what NASA would use? If it is, minus 12 degrees Celsius. What is this? Wait, this is grav max negative whatever the heck this is. Yep. 1.62 meters a second squared. I don't know what this is determining. Not sure. What is this? Pressure? It's in a vacuum. I like how it yells at you, so you should know that. So I guess there is no pressure. I guess that makes sense. It's like PSI. Okay, so there's that. We have our lights still. Those work. We do have enough fuel, potentially, I guess, to almost get back into orbit because the gravity's so light here. I don't know, we might not be able to get in orbit. We could move it somewhere. I don't think I'm going to because I'd crash it. But we have these batteries, so it should keep it charged. And whenever, for a little while, whenever we're not in the sun. And whenever There's a little dot there now. Game is... Nope. Maybe it's a reflection off of their solar panels whenever... Because otherwise I'm not really seeing it. I think that's what that is. That's cool. There you go. Not much else to really report on this. It's nice feeling that I've finally made it to the surface. It was a well done landing. We're going less than 10 meters a second, I think, which is what I was hoping for. We had plenty of fuel left over in the end, which is what I was hoping for. Who knows where that other piece landed? Somewhere. I don't think any of it survived, though. Now it's just determining what to do next. If because obviously there's plenty left to do in this game. It's just figuring out what the next step is. So if you have any suggestions on things that you'd like to see me attempt, I think landing like on a bigger planet would be a possibility, something that has an atmosphere, because then I can take advantage of the fact that I can use parachutes, which would make this, I think, quite a bit easier as opposed to landing without them. It keeps you kind of facing the right way and all that. And that's I've kind of determined that how I was landing before, where I was coming down at an angle. That's what you want to do with a parachute, and I'm trying to do it with just a lander, and that's just not the right technique. With the lander, you want to just stop and just fall. But so that's mostly for like smaller planets without an atmosphere. So I could potentially take on bigger planets maybe, or I could start working on a space station, which is something I've wanted to do for a while. I'm a little nervous about the whole rendezvous thing. I haven't practiced it at all, so it should be fun, I'm sure. But those, I guess the next step would seem like it would be to send Kermans to the moon, but I don't know. I mean, with the design I've kind of come up with and what I've learned, I think I can do it now. But it's still, I think space station would be my next goal, personally, or at least a small one. But I kind of look forward to see, I've had a few comments on this series, which has been nice, so I kind of look forward to see what you guys think now that I've actually landed on the moon. So let me know what you think, and I will see you on the next episode of Kerbal Space Program. Away!